The doors opened. 3 bodies fell out before anyone could step down. They had been standing upright inside the wagon, held in place only by the pressure of the living pressed against them. When the doors gave way, their bodies folded and collapsed into the gravel. One man's eyes were open. He wasn't breathing. A guard kicked him in the ribs to check. No response. He motioned for prisoners to drag the bodies aside. Clear space. Make room. Dogs barked so close I could feel their breath on my legs. Boots struck gravel in rhythm. Smoke rose beyond the tracks. Thick, steady, unnatural. This was not arrival. This was processing. My father tried to steady me. A rifle struck him across the back before he finished speaking. "Stay with your..." The rest of his words disappeared with him. He was shoved into a line, gone in less than 30 seconds. Left, right, a man pointed without looking at faces. He looked at shoulders, at posture, at strength. My mother's hand crushed mine so tightly it hurt. Then the finger moved. She bent down quickly. "Be brave." Her hand slipped from mine. No screaming, no struggle. She walked toward a low concrete building near the smoke. A prisoner beside me whispered, "Gas chambers." I didn't know the word, but I saw the doors close behind the group of women. People went in. Smoke came out. No one came back. An old man behind me began to pray aloud. A guard struck him across the mouth. His teeth hit the gravel. He tried to crawl back into line. They kicked him until he stopped moving. The line continued forward. By the time we were herded away from the train, the dead from our wagon were gone. My father was gone. My mother was walking toward smoke. I was 8 years old, and Auschwitz had already taken everything that mattered. They shaved our heads in silence. Hair fell to the floor in piles. Blonde, brown, gray, all the same once it hit the ground. They stripped us naked in the cold. They replaced our names with numbers. Work began that same day. Carrying stones heavier than my arms could manage. Lifting beams splintered and frozen. Digging ground that refused to break. If you slowed down, you were beaten. If you dropped something, you were beaten. If you looked up, you were beaten. During roll call, a man collapsed face first into the dirt. A guard walked over calmly, pulled out his pistol, shot him in the head. The body jerked once. The line closed. We stood for another hour. Snow fell around us. Blood soaked into the ground. The next morning, a boy beside me began shaking uncontrollably. His lips turned blue. He whispered that he couldn't feel his feet. 2 guards pulled him out of line. He screamed that he could still work. They hit him across the face, kicked his legs out from under him, dragged him toward the barracks. We heard a gunshot. The line did not move. Food came once a day. Bread thin as paper. Gray water they called soup. Men fought over crumbs, not because they were cruel, because hunger dissolves shame. At night, the barracks filled with coughing, whispers, bodies turning in tight spaces. Lice crawled across skin. The air smelled of sweat and sickness. By the end of the week, I stopped reacting when someone was struck. I stopped reacting when someone disappeared. That was how the system worked. It trained you not to feel. The selection happened at dusk. A doctor walked slowly in front of the line, wearing white gloves and clean boots. He didn't shout, he examined. Too thin. Out. Too weak. Out. Too slow. Out. A boy I knew stepped forward. He had shared bread with me 2 nights before. He tried to stand straighter. The doctor barely looked at him. "Showers," a guard said. The word moved down the line like a lie everyone understood. They walked toward the concrete building near the chimneys. The doors closed. Work resumed. Hours later, the smoke thickened and rolled heavy across the yard. That night, a prisoner from the crematorium returned. His hands were shaking. They packed them inside, standing, no space to fall. They dropped the gas from the ceiling. They claw at the walls, at each other. They pull the bodies out, tangled together. The next morning, our work detail passed behind the building. The back doors were open. Men in striped uniforms dragged bodies out quickly and stacked them. Arms twisted, faces pale, mouths frozen open. Carts waited beside the furnaces. The flames were already burning. Bodies were lifted, pushed, fed into fire. No ceremony, no names, just smoke. Ash drifted over the yard and landed on our sleeves, on our heads, on our lips. No one brushed it away. People did not leave Auschwitz. They left as smoke. That was the day I understood exactly where my mother had gone. After that, everything became clearer. There were no more doubts about where people went. The smoke answered every question. The next day, a man tried to rest his shovel for a moment. A guard saw him. He walked over calmly, raised his pistol, shot him in front of us. The body dropped. Work continued. Another prisoner was too weak to lift a wooden beam. They beat him until he tried again. When he couldn't, they beat him harder. Eventually, he stopped moving. They dragged him away like broken equipment. No one protested. Protesting meant joining him. I learned quickly, do not stand out. Do not stand out for strength. Do not stand out for weakness. Lower your eyes, but stay aware. Move when ordered. Stop instantly. Hide exhaustion. Hide fear. Hide anger. Survival was subtraction. Less reaction. Less expression. Less memory. I stopped looking at the chimneys. I stopped reacting to gunshots. I stopped asking where people were taken, because I already knew. The system did not need rage. It needed obedience. It needed bodies that kept moving. And I understood something then. If I wanted to live, I had to disappear while still breathing. The fever began without warning. My hand started shaking during roll call. Not from fear, from inside. My head burned. My legs felt hollow. The yard blurred at the edges. A man near the front began coughing uncontrollably. The doctor stopped in front of him. He didn't speak. He simply made a small gesture with his hand. 2 guards grabbed the man immediately. He begged. He said he could still work. They hit him across the mouth, kicked his legs out from under him, dragged him through the dirt. His heels carved lines behind him. Selection, gas, smoke. A boy behind me collapsed without a sound. A guard struck him twice. No response. They pulled him from the line. The doctor's eyes passed over me. For a second, they stopped. Then he moved on. Not today. Back in the barracks, the fever worsened. Sweat ran down my back. My body shook violently. If I could not stand tomorrow, I would be dragged the same way. Fed to smoke. There was no medicine, no blankets, no mercy. Only breath. Gunshots echoed outside. Routine. I lay awake in the dark, staring at the wooden ceiling above me, counting each inhale, each exhale. If I wake up tomorrow, stand. If I stand, live one more day. I was 8 years old. My father was gone. My mother was ash drifting over the yard. My body burned with fever, and the smoke never stopped rising. Morning would decide everything.
David was 8 years old. His father was gone. His mother had vanished into smoke. That night, he burned with fever inside a wooden barracks. If he could not stand the next morning, he would be selected. And no one survived a second selection week. What happened next changed everything. If you want to hear the rest of David's story, subscribe and stay with us. These stories deserve to be remembered.